In this lesson, we are going to look at the structure and basic requirements of a food safety management system. The basic structure of a food safety management system with the aim to achieve GFSI recognized certification is as follows. The first would be to comply with the country's laws and regulations, and that is compulsory. It will be guided by the type of product that you're handling and the type of process that you are involved in. And then you can determine which sector it belongs to and also the applicable regulatory framework. The second one is implementation of good manufacturing practices or prerequisite programs. Although the regulations will specify some of the minimal requirements, you may need to implement additional ones in order for you to be able to move to the third step. The third step is implementation of a HACCP system. That's where you have to do a risk assessment to determine what are the possible risks that your product could face or that your process poses to your product, and ensure that you implement necessary controls to prevent that risk. The fourth then will be to comply with the relevant recognized schemes requirements, and in this case we are going to be looking at the BRC Global Standard for Food Safety Issue 9 requirements. Let's now have a look at the general basic requirements of a food safety management system. To build a good foundation for your food safety system, it is important to understand the structure of a food safety management system. Equally important is to establish sound, basic food hygiene routines which your staff understand well and follow automatically. Crucially, the food organization needs to comply with the country's laws and regulations. It is also important to take into account the laws and regulations of the country or the destination country for your product. So if you are selling your product to Europe, you must understand what are their regulations and laws pertaining to food safety. The legislative requirements are compulsory, and the organization will need to be familiar with which laws and regulations apply to it. This will be informed by the product produced or handled and the industry that the organization operates in. Regulatory requirements could include, as an example, laws guiding the processing of the products, additives, or labeling. A practical example will be the declaration of allergens on labels. You must ensure that you find out which food laws and regulations apply to your business, obtain copies of all the food laws and regulations, ensure you read, understand, and implement the requirements of each food law and regulations. Except for food safety laws and regulations, your organization may need to comply with other relevant standards. You must find out which food safety standards apply to your business. For an example, in South Africa, we have got potable water standards such as SANS 241 of 2015, and also microbiological standards, and also heavy metals in food products, etc. It is also prudent that your food organization complies with customer requirements. These ensure that your customer requirements are incorporated into your food safety management system. Examples of customer requirements could include implementing maybe BRC Global Standard for Food Safety, or maybe testing for additional microorganisms in your food products. Other key aspects for basic requirements for your food safety management systems are additional GMPs or prerequisite programs that will typically be informed by the type of certification scheme that you go for. Another key aspect is staff training. It's very important to ensure that your staff is adequately trained and they understand their respective duties, including their role to ensuring that the product that they're producing is safe and high quality. This will hopefully contribute to a good food safety culture in your organization. You must actively establish a good food safety culture to ensure that your staff can be relied upon to follow good hygiene practices. So now let's look at the importance of a food safety management system. Fundamentally, an effective food safety management system ensures consumer safety. So at the end of the day, it assures the consumers or customers that whatever that you are supplying them is safe. So that is fundamentally why it's so important. Also, it encourages involvement from junior staff, floor staff, right through to senior management, because everyone is involved in ensuring that food is safe at all times. So, an effective food safety management system can help an organization take swift action during food safety incidents and also prevent or reduce the risk of food safety accidents or incidents occurring within an organization. It is acceptable that we do not live in a perfect world and food safety incidents happen daily, but having an effective food safety management system in place can reduce and even eliminate food safety incidents in your organization. What is food safety and why is it important? Let's firstly define the term food safety. Food safety refers to routines or practices in the preparation, handling, transportation, processing, and storage of food meant to prevent foodborne illnesses and injuries. Consumers have the right to have access to safe food, and it is every business responsibility to ensure this. Food safety and food quality are critical elements in any food environment. Food safety and food quality requirements are regulated and enforced by various ways. It could either be through government acts and regulations. For an example, in South Africa, we have got the Foodstuffs, Cosmetics and Disinfectant Act number 54 of 1972. We could also use national and international standards such as, for an example, a HACCP standard in South Africa, it's SANS 10330 of 2020, or we could use the Codex Alimentarius, which is an international guideline that we follow in the food industry. A company may also elect to implement stringent policies and procedures that are aimed at ensuring that the food that they supply to consumers is safe. Food safety is a responsibility of every person, of every individual that works in the food industry. It is every person's responsibility to ensure that at the end of the day, the food that they produce or supply to consumers is safe.